Destiny finally dumped Shawn on Love After Lockup, and she surprisingly admitted that she has moved on and met a new man. Love After Lockup was on not so long ago. I freaking love this show if you can't tell for yourself, and it was amazing. So much stuff went down, but I don't want to waste any time. First off, I want to talk about Destiny and Shawn, what exactly went down. Now, if you guys don't know, Destiny has this infamous court case that has been going on and on and on. And also, Shawn has been on the hook for $50,000 if Destiny does not show up. Well, we thought we were going to have the final court case that would seal the deal, and if Destiny went, then the whole thing would be a wrap. However, typical Love After Lockup fashion, we have to do another cliffhanger, and she goes to court, and then guess what? They have to postpone the court because of the pandemic. So, oh my god, it goes on and on and on, and Shawn is still on the hook. However, at this point, Destiny pretty much left Shawn. She took his car, she took his credit card, she went to California, and that was it. However, Shawn was running around like the idiot that he is, and he was saying, well, hey, I thought she was still going to be with me. So he ends up going to the court for support, but I feel like in the back of his head, he's really just there for the $50,000, which I don't blame him. But he goes there, Destiny sees him, she's freaking mad, she comes out of the court, he's asking her what went down, and she just started going off verbally, she was screaming at him, and then she finally just says, look, she was going off on him, and she finally just said, look, this is the deal, we're done, you lied to me, you are a liar, you used me, all this stuff, which, let's be real, he's a complete liar, but who used who, Destiny? You freaking used the crap out of this guy. But she goes, you used me, this is this and this, and we are done. And then she ended up telling the cameras that, ooh-hoo, she ended up meeting another man. So they are done, kind of. Here is the catch, though, because like I said, she has his car. So she goes, we're done, I'm over you, this is it. And then she goes and gets in his freaking car and drives away. I mean, this is probably, honestly, the dumbest, most ridiculous thing I have ever seen in a reality TV show ever across the board of all reality TV. She literally was screaming at him about how he was using her and how he's a liar and he's manipulative and all this stuff, and then she gets in his car and with his credit card and drives off. And I'm watching this thinking, girl, Destiny, are you this dumb that you think that Shawn is this dumb? He's gonna let you keep the car? I mean, really, come on. But that's what she's thinking, I guess. However, he ends up getting the address. I don't know how he did that, but he ends up getting the address to, I believe, Destiny's sister's place where she's staying, and then he goes over there, kind of creeps up behind her in his car, he being, you know, Shawn, and then he creeps up, and he sees, okay, there's Destiny, she pulled in, he called the tow truck, and they're towing it off away. And of course, typical Love After Lockup fashion, we don't know if they end up doing it. However, it sounds like they do pull the tow truck up, and then, you know, Destiny freaks out, and she's trying to get in the car, and all this crap drama. It's ridiculous. I can't stand her, but it's a big old drama, typical. But I believe he gets his car, and it sounds like Destiny has a new man, and she might have even possibly gotten married, believe it or not. I cannot confirm that. I've just heard rumors that she might have possibly gotten married, and then I've also heard that Shawn is dating another woman that was in jail, so I feel like you don't even know where to go. So much crap going on. I can't stand him or her, but I will say he's a freaking idiot. But man, she used him. I mean, she used the living crap out of him. And the funniest thing is, Shawn finally goes, well, you know, I guess she scammed me. And I heard that and I was like, yeah, guess? That's exactly what she did. She used you. She scammed the crap out of you. And, I mean, you're just now realizing this, you freaking idiot. So I can't stand him, can't stand her. Destiny and Shawn, oh my god. What a bunch of drama. So comment below what you think of those two crazy people. Like I said, they are freaking insane. And we're just getting started because we also got to hear from an OG Love After Lockup castmate, and that would be Vincent. Vincent was with Amber, and they were not even a real couple, but the big thing is Vince ended up adopting Puppy, who is like Amber's girlfriend slash mainly BFF kind of thing, and he adopted her because he was in the army, and if you have kids, you can, like, you know, claim them, blah, 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 and you can get a couple hundred extra bucks a month, and they were going to split the money, which obviously is just a god-awful idea because, you know, Puppy does not know Vince, so why she would ever trust him just tells me, oh my god, she was freaking desperate, because it's like, why would you ever even trust this crazy guy that is looking for a girlfriend on a prison pen pal site like Vince? But anyway, that whole thing went down, and of course Puppy never saw a dollar from him, and, you know, Vince did adopt Puppy, and it honestly sounds like to me that he was using her. He got her to do the whole adoption thing, and then once she did it, he never gave her any money. That's how it sounds to me, because supposedly, legally, that, he did adopt her. So what did Puppy do? Puppy picked up her phone, called Vince, and Vince rattled and babbled this, that, blah, 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 blah. It was nothing that made any legitimately didn't make any sense. This guy makes absolutely no sense. I don't know what is going on through his head, but he is not making any sense. And the way he was talking just, made me feel like, oh, okay, yeah, he's definitely using her, tricking her, conning her. He's doing something, and he's doing something behind her back, because he was talking in circles. It made no sense. I was like, yeah, something's definitely going on there. And then he hung up the phone, and long story short, Amber and Puppy ended up going to meet up with a lawyer, because they were like, what do we do? I mean, do we try to, cancel it? Do we try to, and basically, there's not much they can do, and it kind of sounds like to me that they're just going to ride it out. Now, the interesting thing is, though, Puppy swears that she never signed anything, and I kind of feel like, don't you have to sign something? And the lawyer did say that if you didn't sign anything, more than likely he forged your signature, and if he did forge your signature, you can get into a lot of trouble. So, more than likely, they probably won't do anything. It's probably just a plot for the show, but still, I'm kind of like, that is kind of interesting. So we're going to see how that one plays out. And speaking of good old drama that I think is fake, and this is actually might be a little less fake than I thought, but that would be Lacey, Shane, John, and even Lacey's dad, who we finally heard more details on with Lacey and her dad. Now, if you don't know, we keep saying we see Lacey's dad all the time. I like the guy. I think he stands up for Lacey. I think he's buddies with Shane. I think that's cool. However, I never knew what was his relationship status with Lacey's mom. Well, we finally figured out that the relationship status was kind of rocky. She kind of had, it sounded like some kind of an addiction problem, kind of, Lacey's mom, and so she was never really in Lacey's life. And then it sounds like, too, Lacey's dad was kind of in that similar boat. However, he ended up cleaning up his act and starting to get his stuff together, and so now they have that relationship. But her and her mom, I don't believe, are close at all. It doesn't sound like it. But either way, we got to see Lacey's dad meet up with John, of all people, and he basically went on John's door, knocked on the door. I have no idea how he knows where he lives. So that's probably fake, number one. But he knocks on the door and he starts screaming, John this, John that. They were getting ready to go. And of course, John was screaming, do something. And then so was the dad. And it was just a bunch of talk. And then finally, John just asked the guy, hey, all I want to know is, did Lacey call the cops on me? And Lacey's dad just goes, yes, she called the cops on you. 100% she did. And that was it. John was done. He had no comments. He had nothing to say. He was super upset. And that was the end of it. And apparently, according to John, he was like, I'm done. This is it with her. I'm never going to try to do anything with her again. And supposedly, that whole John Lacey thing is done. Now, we're going to have to wait and see, because I feel like that was completely fake and just not real for the show. But, like I said, we're going to have to wait and see. And then we saw John and Tara. We did not see Christiana yet. We are getting very close to seeing Christiana, but we have not seen her just yet. We saw John and Christiana's sister, Tara, who is finally moving out. And it was a big old drama that Tara thought that, because if you don't know, here's the deal. Because Christiana is coming back and she's going to live with John, because she's not going to a halfway house, I don't know why she isn't, but because she isn't, she was like, you know what, I can't be with anyone that has an open charge. And Tara, Christiana's sister, got a DUI recently, so they can't live in the same house. And John was like, well, I have to pick Christiana over Tara because Christiana's my freaking wife. So he had to kick out Tara, and Tara was super upset and mad. And I kind of get it, but I'm also kind of like, oh, you know what? I mean, it's like, that's his wife, and he owes you nothing, Tara. I'm sorry. And you're an adult, so it's kind of also like, you know what? And also, on the third thing, you shouldn't have been drinking and driving. That's not cool. So it's kind of her fault completely, if I'm going to be honest. But that was what I wanted to say. And so he kicked her out, and then she was mad. And then basically, she still is going on with this whole idea that the reason he kicked her out is because he has a crush on her. He doesn't want them to be around Christiana. I call BS. I don't think it's true. I hope to God that they can kind of work out their differences. I do kind of feel like John, he might have crossed a couple lines. I also kind of think it might be fake, but maybe not. The only reason I feel like it might be fake is because it's like, geez, would they really do that much on camera? Wouldn't you do it behind the scenes? And that's why, to me, it seems like either they're really dumb and gullible, or it is completely fake and scripted. But we do see that Christiana comes home in the next episode, and she was like, she's ready to go. She wants a baby. She wants the whole 9 yards. And I can only imagine that John is going to have to break the news to her eventually that him and his sister definitely had some sparks flying. Oh yeah, we saw Brittany and Brittany's mom, and actually we saw Brittany's dad. That was kind of interesting, and that is Brittany's like stepdad, so it's kind of a long trail of events. Long story short, basically the only thing I'm going to say on this to keep it real quick and easy and just, it's a very sad situation, honestly. And from the bottom of my heart, I don't say this often, but I am like legitimately praying that Britney's mom can get her act together and pull through with her addiction crap, and if they can just move on, have a relatively normal life, because it is a mess. And it all goes back to Britney's grandma, Britney's mom's mom. They don't even call her grandma. They just call her by her name. And it's like, she's an awful person. She was ridiculous. And she, you know, I really can't stand her. They went to go visit her in Alaska, and she's just a really awful person. So like I said, not a fan of her. I can't believe some of the stuff that came out of, you know, Britney's grandma's mouth. And the mom has all these addiction issues and crap because of her mom. So it's like, they went to go see her. She was being awful. She was not being nice. And finally, Britney and her mom were like, I'm done, and they kind of stormed out. And then the, you know, kind of weird thing was the next day, after that whole traumatic situation, the next day, they end up meeting up and getting together with Britney's, like, stepdad, who was married to Britney's mom. And now he has another lady, and it's kind of awkward, too. So, like I said, it can go one way or the other. I hope to God it goes in the positive direction. I like Britney. I like the mom. I think the mom has issues she needs to work through. I wish WeTV would help her, because she clearly has some serious issues, but none of my business. But it's like, man, I hope the best for her. She's going through an awful situation. I just hope to God they could try to make it better, make it work, make it just hope to God they can at least pull through and just be better. I mean, because they're really going through some serious sad stuff in their life. And that was about it from last night's episode. I'm trying to think if I missed anything else, because Scott and Lindsay are done. They are off the show now. Now we have John and Christiana. I don't think we saw Chevelle and Quaylen, I don't believe. And if we did, I know we saw them in a preview, and in the preview we got to see, guess what? D-Mark, Chevelle's cousin, and Quaylen get into a big old fight, and they're ready to go, and it's like, oh my God, why? Why? I like D-Mark. I think D-Mark's a good guy. I think he's a nice guy for keeping his guard up for his cousin, but dude, eventually you have to just say, let her live her life. She has to do her thing, and that is that. And it's like, it's starting to kind of annoy me. I will say one thing, though. We did get to see Quaylen propose to Chevelle, and, you know, gave her a ring, so that all happened. However, I went on Chevelle's YouTube channel, because she has a YouTube, it's called like Chevelle Love After Lockup, and it was a really long vlog video, and there was no ring, there was nothing on her finger. I don't know if I was looking at the wrong one, but she kept going like this. She kept doing this, and I was like, or something like this, and I was like, wait a second, no ring. So, and it was a very emotional video, but she wasn't giving specifics because of the NDAs and all that jazz. But, I mean, that tells me, oh, they might have broken up, because she was really going through, you know, I need to work on my self-help, my self-care, and I need to focus on me, and she was saying some serious stuff happened, which that probably tells me, honestly, if I had to guess, Quaylen was cheating. I have no idea if that's true, but I would not be shocked. I like him, think he's a good guy, I think he's a cool guy. I just don't know if he's really romantically interested in Chevelle. I could be totally wrong, and I think Chevelle is beautiful and smart and successful and a hustler, and she's cool. So I'm not saying anything bad about her. I'm just saying they didn't really seem to mesh. I don't think he was into her, but I could be totally wrong. So yeah, we saw Lacey, saw Amber and Puppy and good old crazy Vince, and that was about it. And if I did miss anyone, they must have been incredibly boring. Well, guys, Love After Lockup, it's a great show. I freaking love this show. I just have one complaint, and I say it every week, and I will continue to say it until someone changes it. This show needs to be 2 hours. That's my only complaint. If it was longer, I would like this show even more. Well, Love After Lockup, guys, please, so help me God. If you are new to this channel, please hit that like button, hit the comments below, hit the subscribe button, and y'all better stay tuned for many more videos.